Let's now solve the illustration for discount on debtors with the provision for discount on debtors also. Let me decode the terms here. Discount on debtors given in the trial balance, further adjustment entry is already over. Adjustment entry is already over. Then we have to pass only transfer entry. And provision for discount on debtors given in the trial balance represents the provision for discount, offering discount is already created in the previous year, assumed to be the opening balance. This might have been created by charging the P&L account in the previous year. In the previous year, the journal entry could have been this one. P&L account debit to provision for discount on debtors. This might have been created in the previous year. Least bother about this one now. But why do I pass? To have the link, what happened, what could have happened in the previous year. That will give the complete view about the chapter. And in adjustment, discount on debtors is given. What does it mean? We came to know this discount only after the preparation of the trial balance. As we are not aware about this at the time of preparation of the trial balance, we might have missed the adjustment entry. So we have to adjust that. That's why we have to pass the adjustment entry. Not only the adjustment entry, after passing, we have to transfer this discount on debtors being the nominal account to the P&L account. So transfer entry should also be passed. And for the second, provision for discount on debtors at the rate of 5% is supposed to be created. What does it mean? This is the provision meant for the next year. So to meet the discount on debtors expenses in the next year, we are creating a provisions today. Okay, for the next year. How do I create? By charging P&L account, I will create this provision. Provision for discount is created. Is that okay? Now let me pass the entry one after one. So first what you have to do? You have to pass the entry for what? This adjustment entry number 1. Okay. Adjustment entry for discount on debtors. Discount on debtors. For which discount on debtors? Given in the adjustment. Discount on debtors given in the trial balance. For that, the journal entry was already passed. You don't need to worry about that. So I am going to pass the entry for this. The entry being discount on debtors account debit. Discount on debtors account debit. Okay. Discount on debtors account debit. On debtors. DRS. Debtors account debit. To debtors account. The value being 200. Value being 200. Second entry is all about transfer entry. Transfer entry is for what? Existing debtors, discount on debtors in the trial balance, as well as the new discount on debtors we found out only after the preparation of the trial balance. These two will be clubbed and transferred. So the entry being, okay. As we have the provisions, first of all, we have to adjust that in the provision for discount on debtors. So you have to club all the three. Provision for discount on debtors, account debit, to discount on debtors. To discount on debtors. The discount on debtors in total being 300 plus 200, 500 rupees. But how much is the provision we have already? 1000. We have already 1000, but we are in need of only 500. Then the difference should be transferable to the P&L account. Surplus we have. Surplus. Shortage is there means P&L account is debited. Here we have surplus, they are credited to the P&L account. And the third entry is all about the provision supposed to be created for the next year's requirement. Okay. Creation of okay. Provision for discount on debtors for the next year. The entry being P&L account debit to provision for discount on debtors. 5%. 5%. 5% on what? Debtors. What is the balance of debtors? Actually, we have 10,000 rupees as the balance in debtors in the beginning or as per the trial balance. By passing the adjustment entry, debtors is subtracted by 200 rupees for the unadjusted discount on debtors. Thereafter, we have only 9,800. For the 9,800, 5% will be created. So 490. 490. So if you are creating any provision up to that point, what is the debtors balance? You have to find out that first of all, and from that only 5% will be created. Or you can have this as a small working note. The small working note is this way. Debtors balance being 10,000 rupees. From there minus discount on debtors. Discount on debtors given in the adjustment which is 200 rupees. Balance being 9,800. From the 9,800 we have to subtract what? Provision for doubtful debts given in the adjustment meant for the next year, which is certain percentage on this value, which is 5%. 490. So balance being 9,310. This way also you can work out. This block will go to the balance sheet asset side. This will go to the balance sheet asset side. Right. If I open the balance sheet in the asset side, this will appear. Debtors 9,800 minus provision for discount on debtors 490. In the outer column, the ultimate value being 9,310. And how about the P&L account, sir? It's very simple. Similar to the debtors. Discount on debtors transferable to the P&L account. Here is transferable to the P&L account given in the trial balance. The value being 300. Discount on debtors given in adjustment transferable to the trading account, which is trial balance. So transferable to the P&L account, which is 200 rupees. And we supposed to create a provisions for the next year's requirement by charging the P&L account. So provision for discount on debtors given in the adjustment. The amount given in the adjustment is meant for the next year, which is 490. This is calculated either this way, this statement, or you can find out this way also. This way, both the way you will get. So the overall value being 990. From there, if we have any opening provision minus provision for discount given in the trial balance 1,000. Now the value is negative, so you put that value in the credit side. The entire block you can write in the credit side. Discount and provision for discount, both put together, the value should be 10 in the credit side, not in the debit side. You can simply, rather than passing these two entry, what is the first entry here? The first entry here is provision for discount on debtors and discount on debtors to P&L account. No, it's only adjustment entry. Adjustment means transfer entry. You are transferring, and this is nothing but creation entry. You can club these two and pass this as a single entry. Provision for discount on debtors, debit side 1,000, credit side 490, ends with 510 only in the debit side. So provision for discount on debtors, the value being 510. Right. Then in P&L account, debit side 490, credit side 500, ends with 10 rupees in the credit side. So 2 P&L account, 10 rupees here. And discount on debtors, in the credit side we have 500 rupees. Discount on debtors, value being 500. Now verify, this will be the ultimate value. The amount supposed to be credited in the P&L account being 10. Is that clear? So the complete idea will be only these things for 3 components. Bad debt component, discount on debtors component, discount on creditors component also the same, but in a reverse way. Yeah, make a note of it.